Good afternoon, Sava here from Football Heritage TV. First of all, smash the like button, whack that subscribe button, and stay tuned for all the latest from Football Heritage TV. Today's daily video, Tottenham Hotspur. Spurs are spending the Kane money. Or are they spending the Kane money? Spurs are set to get the deal over the line finally for Van de Ven. We've agreed personal terms with Valise of Rosario Central. Ashley Phillips is due to be signing before the end of the week, which is tomorrow night. Reports about Kessie, reports about Gift Orban, reports that Tapsoba's still alive. These are all positive things. But does this mean that this is the Kane money, or are Spurs finally going to act like a big club with some ambition? Let's see. Yeah, so good afternoon, Sava here, Football Heritage TV. It's going to be the question on everyone's lips, isn't it? Only at Spurs can we be linked with loads and loads of players, and yet still in the back of the mind, that little bit of material at the back which is storing all your negative thoughts. Is it the Kane money? Now, I don't mind if it is. I'll put that out there right from the bat. You know me, I'm a straight shooter. I don't mind if it is, because I don't think that we need to be crying about Harry Kane for years and years and years. We've had him for a decade. If he goes, he goes. But let's park that to one side. Tottenham Hotspur, in the last 24 hours, lots of reports from the likes of Romano, David Ornstein, Gary Jacobs, reporters out there in South America. Lots of news that many players are going to be signing in the next week, in the next 24, 48, 72 hours to a week. So, what's happening? First of all, let's have a look at this. So, we all saw the news yesterday about Van de Ven. Okay, we all saw the news yesterday about Van de Ven. So, we won't bring that up. Okay? But what I will do is we'll have a look at Fabrizio Romano's Twitter page. Now, what Fabrizio Romano has said, we'll scroll past that. And past this. He has said this morning, first of all, there's talks that Galatasaray are now considering Tungay Ndombele as an option, but we'll come back to that later. Personal terms agreed with Alejo Valise. I think I'm saying that right. Someone will tell me if I'm wrong. Personal terms agreed. Player wants to join. Long-term contract in place. Negotiations are underway between the clubs, and Rosario Central have asked to keep Valise on loan for at least 6 months. We'll come back to that in a minute, because in the same breath, overnight, what have we had? We've had this information, not about João Cancelo or Ramos. We've had this, that Romano understands that Daniel Levy is taking care of the final steps of negotiations in order to sign Mickey van der Ven from Wolfsburg. The deal is at the final stages, as revealed yesterday. Tottenham have to agree with Wolfsburg on payment terms and instalments. Then it will be done. And then this news as well. Fabrizio Romano said Tottenham are prepared to close the Ashley Phillips deal for $2 million fee by the end of the week if all goes to plan. The release clause will kick into his contract. Talented centre-back has already said yes to Spurs. Now, with all that in mind, where do we start? Van de Ven, obviously we know about Van de Ven. There's no point going too deep into that. We've seen this before. We've been told we're close before, but this feels different. Wolfsburg have just signed another left-sided defender. Apparently, they're also in talks with Robin Gosens from Atalanta, another left-sided defender. Personal terms are agreed. It looks like it's getting close. Love to see that wrapped up in 48 hours. Then you've got Ashley Phillips at £2 million. Listen, Daniel Levy knows how to get a deal. There were lots of reports last week about Spurs being tight, not paying the money, which is what at first it came out that, Daniel Levy was bargaining. and negotiating. Then it came out that it was actually Blackburn that were looking to chance their arm and try and drive the price up, which in hindsight looks really silly because apparently there's a clause tomorrow that says he can go for 2 million and that he is joining Tottenham Hotspur. Good player, young player for the future. Could he get minutes in the first team this year? Will he go out on loan? We will find out. But it very much looks like those two centre-halves are coming in. Van de Ven for the first team, probably Ashley Phillips for backup stroke going out on loan. Then you've got Valise. Now, this is the one that no one knew about. No one was talking about this. And then last night, I think everyone, WhatsApp started going mad. Valise is joining. Like many of you, like most of you, I was like, who? Who is this guy? The only information I've got on him is what I've read up on this morning, the videos I watched last night. But one thing I've seen today already is people complaining, oh, a young player, this, that, the other. Look what we've done in the past with young players. But most people say they'd love to operate like a Brighton, for example, that go and get some unknown players and turn them into stars. So if we do it, can we turn our nose up at it? How do we know he doesn't come straight into the first team and start scoring goals? How do we know he won't be a flop? We don't know any of this. But if Postecoglou wants him, I'm happy with that. I trust this manager. What do we know about him? Well, we know that he's a 19-year-old centre-forward, Argentinian. We know that he had a really good under-20 World Cup where he scored 3 goals in 4 games for them. He signed for Rosario Central made his debut for Rosario Central in 2021 and has since gone on to get 20 goals in 59 games, which is 1 every 3. But bearing in mind, he's only just turned 19. He would have made his debut at 17. He's got 3 goals for the Argentinian under-20s. He's very good in the air from the videos that I've seen. Messi raves about him, but of course it's very difficult to go by that because loads of players rave about players from their own nation. But the reports are saying that the personal terms are agreed and that he is going to join. Now, for me, this is quite exciting. Ashley Phillips, Valise, these are exciting signings, young players, potential. Can they learn? Can they grow? Can they be coached? Have they got the desire? Have they got the proverbial ceiling? But for me, these exciting signings only work if they go hand in hand with first team signings. So that's where the Van de Vens come into it. Possibly a Kessie. Is the door open for Tapsoba? So all of this is brilliant. Romano told us we're in for a busy August. For me, this should have been done earlier in the window, but that's done. That's done now. We can't change that. We have to be positive about what's happening moving forward. But to the question, does this mean that the club know Harry Kane is going? Now, no one knows the exact answer to this. We can surmise. People will come back in the comments and go, he's definitely not going. You don't know that. He's definitely going. You don't know that either. So the question is, we've seen this before, and obviously the famous example and case that everyone is going to use is Gareth Bale, where we signed 7 players and then Bale went. Now, obviously, there's going to be similarities and comparisons made to that time, what, 12, 13 years ago, whenever it was, 15 years ago, whenever Bale left this club for the first time. But we can't just say because it didn't work with Bale that it doesn't work now. But is he going? Is Daniel Levy putting his money where his mouth is for the first time in 23 years on the pitch? Or is he just being a shrewd businessman and spending the Kane money up front? When you look at all of those players, it's rumoured to be 35, 40 million euros for Van de Ven. 15 million euros apparently is the figure for Valise. That's 55 million euros. Possibly 45 million euros on Tapsoba. 2 million on Ashley Phillips. All of that adds up to in and around, depending, give or take, the 100 to 115 million mark, right? Which is what they're trying to get for Harry Kane. So this is all going to be very interesting. Personally, my experience of Daniel Levy is that is what he is doing. I don't know that for sure. I don't know that. But my experience tells me that this is what's happening. Now, as I said to you at the beginning of the video, if it happens, it happens. If Kane goes, but we've got in two very good centre-halves, a young centre-half as backup, maybe a defensive midfielder as well, or a player like Kessie, and a young forward like Valise, I'll take that all day long. Because we can't be a one-man team forever. And we've got a manager whose system and coaching doesn't allow for everything to revolve around one player. But now let's look on the flip side of that. Harry Kane stays. Now you've got Harry Kane and young Felice, who he can learn off. Now, don't get me wrong, Felice, Rosario Central want him on loan for 6 months to take him back on loan. Cool. But when he comes back, he could learn off Harry Kane and Son. Now you've still got the two centre-halves, the young centre-half, and you're strong. So for me, I think it's win-win either way. I'm just going by my experience of Daniel Levy, that's what I think he's doing. But keen to hear your thoughts. But let's not make absolutes. When we say absolutes, we don't know. But it's positive. It's more positive than what's been happening for the last 5-6 weeks at this club. The season starts in 10 days for Tottenham Hotspur. 10 days we play Brentford. These players coming in now will miss the opportunity to play against Barcelona on Sunday. They'll probably miss, Shakhtar on Sunday. They'll probably miss the opportunity to play against Barcelona. So their first taste of football will be in the Premier League. But more positive, more exciting news. This is what we've needed all window. This will breathe the life back into fans who are concerned, and rightly so, the fans have been concerned. The ball's in Daniel Levy's court. What's he going to do? Backhand, and I think we've got a good future ahead of us. Slowly, slowly, let's build, let's grow. But I think under Ange, we're going to be okay. Please like, please subscribe. Let me know your feelings. Thank you for all your help. And if anyone hasn't heard, I will be going full-time in the very, very near future. So please help by subscribing and liking. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Enjoy your day. And I'll be back at 4 p.m. today for 1 hour as I invite you all to join me as we do a Tottenham 1 to 11 selector. There'll be rows, there'll be arguments. But hey, let's do it. Take care, people. See you later. Bye-bye.